Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!
Hello friends, I'm back today with a quest video for Tanksmasha, who fights alongside the Orcs versus the Necrons. On screen are the characters that I used for this event, along with the relevant skill levels. A quick shout out to Ernst, Tacticus ambassador and friend, who is invaluable in me putting together my videos. His referral code is on screen as a thank you. One quick disclaimer before we start. Boss Golgorts is pivotal not only to the Orc team but also to this quest guide. He summons 2 Orc boys with his active ability, and the placement of those boys is random, which can lead to some variance on these runs. The Necrons have reanimation protocols, which gives them a chance to revive unless overkilled. I've tried to account for that in these replays as best I can, but once more, variance can strike. Let's take a look at the battles. For Common 1 we use Gibba and Snotflogger. On turn 1, we kill the flayed one with Snot and summon the Grot tank and wait for our enemies to move down. On turn 2, Gibba and Snot clean up the left side. Tanksmasha can finish the last Necron off, or if the right warrior revived, then you can use Tanksmasha's active. Common 2 is no summons, so we use Golgorts, Gibba and Snappa. On turn 1, Golgorts takes the high ground and shoots the flayed ones. Snappa finishes the front line off. On turn 2, we take out all of the flayed ones. Resurrection protocols might be an issue. On the final turn, you have to remember to repair Snappa before using Tanksmasha to finish the last enemy off. For Common 3, we are asked not to heal or repair. We leave Snappa Rekka at home and play with a 4-man team. We start with Golgorts attacking from range and Gibba Scraps summoning his Grot tank. Snot takes the bottom left health power up and uses his active. On turn 2, Tanksmasha takes the other health power up, Golgorts uses his Wog, and it's an easy cleanup. For Uncommon 1, the restrictions are no explodes and no mechanic. We use Golgorts and Snot. It's pretty easy, we just use Wog on turn 1 and smash the enemies. There's no strategy really needed beyond that. Uncommon 2 is no crushing strike. We use Gibba, Snappa and Snot. On turn 1, we summon the tank on ice and it kills the Scarab's Worm. The rest of our units hide on the right side of the map. On turn 2, Snappa's active kills the flayed ones on the ice at the bottom of the map, and the rest of our team remains on the right. On turn 3, we shoot with Snappa and then heal him before cleaning up the battlefield on turn 4, with Tanksmasha crossing the ice for the final kill. For Uncommon 3, it is no damage taken. We use the whole Orc squad and it's a tough battle. On turn 1, we move Snot up slightly and use his active. Tanksmasha kills an enemy and then Golgorts shoots from range to kill another. We summon a tank on the left flank and Snappa kills another Necron. On turn 2, we use Wog to kill the majority of the enemies, being mindful to stay out of Overwatch range of the death marks on the top left of the map. Cleanup is on turn 3, but this stage could be a token trap depending on how many resurrection protocols trigger. For Rare 1, the restriction is no explodes or mechanic. We use Boss and Snot. On turn 1, we simply pass the turn and wait for the enemies to come to us. Turn 2 is another straightforward Wog where we kill the majority of the flayed ones. Any survivors should target your summons for an easy cleanup on turn 3. For Rare 2, there is no ranged, so we bring Gibba and Snot. On turn 1, Snotflogger moves up the left and uses his active to summon some Grots. Tanksmasha kills the enemy in the middle, and we summon the Grot tank to kill the bottom right flayed one. From there, the enemies should target our summons and we simply work our way through the remaining enemies for an easy clear. There is a healing power up in the top right in case one of your units gets targeted. For Rare 3, we have no physical and therefore use Golgorts and Snappa. On turn 1, we put Snappa on the health power up and kill the top left flayed one. Gulgorts kills the bottom left Necron and we pass the turn. Turn 2 brings the Wog, which saves the day and kills the rest of the flayed ones. The Ophidian Destroyer should target our summons for an easy cleanup on the following turn. For Rare 4, the restriction is no explodes. We use Gulgorts, Gibba, and Snot. The key moves on turn 1 are using the Wog on the left Deathmark, and Snotflogga moves up the right side and summons a Grot. The enemies once more should focus our summons for another easy finish. Rare 5 is no summons, so we leave Snot at home. There is a lot of variability in RNG on this stage. The most consistent opener is demonstrated here. Tanksmasha attacks on the right, followed by ranged attacks from Gulgorts to clear the right flank. Snappa attacks on the left and Gibba repairs him. On turn 2, the right-sided units kill Aleph Null before she can summon, and the mech-flavoured orcs deal with the left. You have a generous turn cap to finish the fight off, but remember to use the healing power-ups or repair before you finish. Epic 1 is no healing or repairing. We bring Boss and Snot. Turn 1 is pretty easy. We use Gulgorts' Wog onto the power-up, and Tanksmasha takes the other power-up and kills a Necron. Snotflogga moves last and uses his active. On turn 2, Snot and Gulgorts team up on an Ophidian Destroyer, and Tanksmasha should be strong enough to kill the other. Epic 2 is no crushing strike. We use Gibba, Snappa, and Snot. On turn 1, Snappa and Tanksmasha take the power-ups and Gibba summons a tank. We spend turn 2 killing the majority of the flayed ones, and the key here is to remember to move your characters away from the burrow points where the Ophidians will pop out. On turn 3, we simply clean up the battlefield as shown. Epic 3 is no damage taken. We bring the whole gang. On turn 1, we used Wog on the right of the map. Snotflogga uses his active on the left. Gibba summons a tank, and Tanksmasha moves upwards. On turn 2, Snappareka kills the last Deathmark, while Gulgorts and Tanksmasha clear the right side of the map. We have another turn if needed, and it's an easy fight since the enemies should focus on our summons. There is some RNG here depending on the factors mentioned at the start of this video, and sometimes Thutmose doesn't even move down the map. For the Legendary stage, it is again no damage taken, and it is a tough one. For this fight we use a gold 2 Gulgorts and Snotflogga, and the other orcs are at gold 1, but you'll have an easier time with more built up units. The key move here is to pass the turn after your characters are positioned as shown. Then, on turn 2, you can Wog. I'll leave this replay running on screen in case your characters are close to the described thresholds. However, given that this is essentially an uncapped level, I expect there to be a huge amount of variation between players. Try and save the ability refresh for Gulgorts, and Wog again to add more summons and meat shields to the fight. Okay, that's all I've got for this one. I hope it was useful. Thanks as always to my Patreons for their support. Bye for now.